All right, here we go. Never
And
mind.
lo, he said, it is late July. Please give us the football. And with it, the Bleeding Burgundy podcast.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington football podcast by fans for fans. With your hosts, Jesse Martin.
You want to play what? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
John Taylor.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And Keith Gray.
The King, your Majesty.
And now here's your host, John Taylor.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I must have called in the right sound effect because that thing didn't skip at all. I knew just when to stop it. How about that? The season has started. Our preseason is over. We are done with all our mistakes and all our problems, so you can expect perfection from here on out. Camp has started. Commanders are good. I got the one jersey that I've still got left on my body because I will not buy one. I don't like the free agency area. You buy one before you know he's gone. So I got my Ken Harvey.
just buy a Legends jersey then.
A Legends jersey.
Yeah, one of our legends. You know.
Oh, okay, one of our legends. I was thinking
Art Monk or Gary Clark or
something like that. I could buy one of those, and then I would probably like to, except I never consider those kinds of things because I never buy anything for myself.
Well, now that training camp has started, and I've probably said this a couple times already the past few podcasts, but this is our official season 3 debut of the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. 3 seasons, man. 3 fucking seasons. This show still is going on. So, yeah.
That's right. Yay. You know why? Because we couldn't give a shit how many people are listening.
Yeah.
We come here to have some fun.
Yeah.
So, hey, man. Let me make proper introductions. That's my friend Jesse Martin, who's been with me for 3 seasons. It was him and Keith were so gracious enough to invite me onto this show. And I got to tell you, fellas, I look forward to this every single week. It's just the highlight of my day, I must say. So how you doing, man? You ready for camp? You going to camp?
No, it's listen, football's here, man. Football's here. Next week is the fucking Hall of Fame game. We get to actually watch real no, it's not real football, but it's almost real football. Season's right around the corner. And you know, they haven't gotten into full pads yet, but seeing the highlights on social media, it's pretty cool, man. It's right here and it's good stuff.
It's fun to watch live action. So speaking of live action, down there from where are you in the Canary Islands, our good friend Scotty, and you can hear his sunburn, everybody. Look at that man. Holy crap. Put an Englishman anywhere near the equator and crying out loud. You better have the fire department on speed dial.
Absolutely right, fellas. Yeah, I'm good. I'm enjoying it. I got here Sunday. Here for 2 weeks. So mid-90s, which is good. Lots and lots of breeze. It's a very breezy island, so you forget how hot it actually is. An idiot that is me decided on day one because we couldn't get into the villa till 3 o'clock. And we had quite a lot of time to kill. We'd walk around the town, and I didn't have any sun cream on at all and burnt my entire face and head. So, yeah.
You're British. I tell you what, you're British and you're ginger, so you've probably got to have like SPF 950, right?
Yeah.
You
got to apply every 10 minutes.
It's like icing all over it.
That's exactly it. It just looks like I've got Magnolia paint all over my face.
You just need straight zinc and just apply straight zinc.
It's not wrong.
It's the mid-90s there. Does that mean there's like a lot of Chumbawamba playing?
Yeah. And Oasis and Blur, yeah.
Yeah, nothing to do with that. I'd like Smash Mouth, thank God.
Yeah.
That would be no place to go to vacation if Smash Mouth was there.
But yeah, I'm glad it's season 3. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, honestly, I followed you guys since the start. As you know, I've got that old Weird Spot T-shirt that came out years and years ago.
Cheese weird.
And to be honest with you, it's been a blast to have it since you've got me on. So thank you, really appreciate it. And it's looking forward to it. It's soon. It's going to be soon. It's 6 weeks, I think, before week 1. So not long now.
Yeah. Something like that. As soon as we got rid of that Keith guy, everything got.
he will be back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I get it.
He's taking care of the fam, doing some family stuff. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty, Mr. Keith Gray will return to the podcast. So don't you worry. or maybe you should worry. I don't know.
So training camp.
Yeah, training camp
this week. Right now, it's still pads. With no, it's just shells, right? So it's still just 2-hand touch practices and things like that. And I try not to get excited about anything like that because I've been burned before. But you can't really see anything. You have these sideline angle cell phone videos of a catch, and you go, "Oh, that looked pretty good." So it's hard to get excited. But so far, number one, no injuries. Number two, according to coaches and according to the general overall feel of the thing, practices have been pretty good.
Yeah, so, and I kind of take it back a little bit. What they've done to prepare for training camp, to prepare for actually fans coming in. It looks amazing. I really wish I had the time to drive up there and check a day out. I just don't, but I'm kind of proud of the team and what they've done. They've come a long way in a short period of time. Yes, it wasn't just because of Josh Harris buying the team. They had planned on putting some bleachers in, but it looks a little bit more professional. Nikki Javala put that picture up from last year when there was like two people along the ropes that could. I mean, it's something that you can take a little pride in. So and it seems like the fans are coming out in droves, and most of that has to do with Dan Snyder not being the owner of the team anymore, and watching Josh Harris come out with Mark Ein yesterday and what's the other freaking
Rails?
Yeah, Mitch Rails coming out and people screaming thank you Josh and him getting involved and signing autographs and giving awkward high fives. It was you would never ever in a million years see Dan or Bruce Allen come do this. So
well, for one, you couldn't do both of them because Bruce Allen would have to hold Dan up to do any high five other than maybe a 4-year-old.
That is true.
Upsy-daisy.
Did anybody else notice how yoked Josh Harris looks? Man, he's got some beef on him, man. He's pretty strong.
I was looking at the bulge. What do you think? What do you think, Scotty?
I think what I've noticed that was really cool was actually someone had a jersey with Snyder Gone 23 on it, which I thought was amazing.
That was cool. Yeah, that was.
I was like, yes, that's my sort of guy. But apart from that, it's a strange one. I mean, do I get excited about training camp? Not really, because as you say, you're getting every angle possible of every throw, and you can break it down to the minutest detail. But to be honest with you, as long as the coaches are happy with what the players are doing, that the install seems to be going well, and that the quarterback's doing what we want them to do, I'm quite happy with this. And the difference, you can tell the difference massively in between going from Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineke to Brissett and to Howell. You can see there's a huge difference in the way the ball is going to the receivers at the minute. Clearly, I think today the defense seemed to be better than the offense. But that's part and parcel of being in training camp. It's always going to be that way.
Of course, this time of year,
you want your defense to make some plays. I thought it was interesting that Sadiq Charles said, "Oops, I false started," and Eric Bieniemy got pissed off and threw the whole first team offense off the field, or at least the offensive line, which was all right because you got to get Sadiq Charles used to that, how it feels when a new hand is around his neck yanking him out of a football game. So that's a good start for him, I think. Him and Eric Bieniemy, once they get it recognized where like Bieniemy can grab a hold of like a fat roll on the back of his shoulder blade and just yank him off the field, then I think
like you get a cat.
Look, I'm not a believer in Sadiq Charles, and I know that
okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't even see what you did. But did you make a joke?
I said like you when you're taking a cat, like the back of the cat's neck. Just off you go.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I was thinking about that. But, I mean, shoot, I would say you're in the Canary Islands, man. Go ahead and go out to dinner. You don't need to make cats do. But that's not up to me. All right, so, hey, you vacation on a budget. Look, the way I see it is I want to see Chris Paul. Sadiq Charles is somebody that they have been trying to promote ever since they drafted him. They said, he was first-round talent. He fell down to the 4th round and blah, 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 blah. Which, okay, if I can make the argument about Sam Howell, I don't care about him being in the 5th round, then I can't say the same thing about him being in the 4th round. However, in 4 years, he ain't done jack dick nothing, and I don't care whether he got hurt in year 1 or not. when I've seen him in the game, man, the dude's a turnstile. He is a liability when he's out there on the field, and I've really never seen anything but that. So I'm all ready to move on from it. Let Eric Bieniemy go ahead and find that spot. Maybe go ahead and get the trainer or the staff to go ahead and put a hook on the back of his jersey so he can just grab hold for easy access and yank it.
To that end then, boys, do you think then that we're done with the O-line? And I mean, I saw something that came out saying about investments in teams in the O-line, and the Commanders have the least investment in the entire O-line with a 32nd out of 32nd. Now, clearly, you ain't got your
capital.
Yeah, I know. Draft capital-wise, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really buy into that all that too much. You know, it needs
to be addressed, but you can't really do anything about it right now.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not paying.
They could bring in some depth, but I think, you know, the only spot really up for grabs is that left guard position right now.
Yeah,
and sure, they could bring someone off the street, but I mean, right now, unless there's an injury happens, I just don't see it.
They've got some depth players back in there.
They do.
And let them step up if they need to. Because the interesting thing this year is that everybody gets cut on the same day right towards the end. So it's going to be a mad rush. You're going to see a lot of attrition in training camps. Offensive linemen are going to go down. Players are going to go down. And Joe Burrow, went down. Holy shit, Joe Burrow went down.
Yeah, they escaped one, though. Only a calf strain, but still, that looks scary.
Yeah, well, a calf can linger, which is fine with me. I don't care. They're one of the other 31. I couldn't tell it. But in talking about that, that's what's going to happen on that day. That day's going to be like free agency day, man. Everybody's going to be scrambling to try to pick up what's left. So I think that we probably, I wouldn't want to curse us, but we will probably be shopping.
We could. It's just looking at thinking back on the training camps. What I'm looking for in this training camp, and what I'm seeing to not necessarily my surprise, but hearing what the media is saying about how practice is going, how the offense is looking.
Local media.
Yeah, local media, that ones that are out there. Last year we heard them say, this is the time to make mistakes. This is the balls were going in the dirt. I mean, you're hearing from all quarterbacks, but it's okay. They're learning a new offense. You're not hearing that this year.
Nope,
you're not hearing that at all.
I think Howell threw his first interception today, which, I don't really care about whether he throws picks, as long as it's not all the time he's throwing things.
Yeah, and you heard last season, Heineke and Wentz were throwing them all the fucking time.
Right.
It was a defense have your day. Now this defense is going to be ahead of this offense the entire time because this defense is that fucking good.
They should be.
It's really, really. But I'm focusing on what I'm hearing because I'm not there. I'm not able to see anything. You can't take too much from fans. Okay, you see all this stuff on Twitter. Like, oh, Sam Howell, that's a franchise quarterback right there. I don't believe you right now. I don't. But I want to what the fuck that they, what the media is talking about and compared to what we've had last year. Because last year was shit. And they still
you can say that for the last almost all the way back to Brad Johnson, like Cousins here and there, but and of course the Robert Griffin season.
But you're not hearing those same those same sayings like
it's not false hope this time.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
I'm optimistic and I don't want to be optimistic at all. I don't.
Because you know how it feels. You've been burned before.
Yeah, I am optimistic and I think, of course, fucking pads haven't come on yet. But the defense is eating, but you're not hearing a whole lot of fucking interceptions. And that's a big thing right there.
The thing that I like, I'm sorry, go ahead, Scott. You're right.
No, you go. Go on, John.
I've been yapping. Go ahead.
I was going to say, as soon as until we get to the Ravens scrimmage, I don't think we're going to see anything at all, or even take anything from this. I mean, Chase Young's looking like a monster again by all accounts, which is great to see. There's no knee brace on him or Logan Thomas, which is a good thing as well. And no, Chase does use that leg sleeve to give him a bit of compression, which absolutely no worries at all. Whatever you want to wear, you want to wear.
Leg sleeve every day for work.
Yeah, do you really?
And down the crack of his ass.
But for me, the most noticeable thing for me that I've seen so far on training camp in any of the, the presses that have come out is actually the attitude of Ron Rivera.
Yes.
And the way that he's
so relaxed.
Doesn't he just
different?
The smile.
So different.
There's a smile. There's a
I was going to bring this up.
To
I was
him.
actually going to bring this up.
Okay, cool.
Later. No, go ahead. Talk.
But what I'm saying is, when you watch him, there's just that relaxed smile, that relaxed nature. The fact that he's interacting with fans. I mean, one fan said, "No BS, Ron. It's just football," and he was like laughing and giggling and like, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah.
I mean, how hard is it? How easy must it be now to sit there and think to myself, I don't have to deal with any of this off-field shit that we've been dealing with for so long. And I just think, well,
antidepressants.
maybe.
For him, it's like probably
benzodiazepine.
He lifted a whole ship off of his shoulders. I guarantee you, the second Dan Snyder said, "All right, well, we'll talk someday." Bye. He just went. Oh. It was probably. Now I won't make that analogy, but you can assume what it is. It's
I know what you mean.
And because it's coming from me, it'll be the worst thing you could think.
No, but yeah, it's just you can tell. Just looks so different. It just looks so different.
Just the way he talks, the way he's speaking, his demeanor is night and day. And if you can't see that, then you just haven't been watching.
I've never seen a coach use a ventriloquist dummy and do an act at the press conference until the other day, and I thought that was just amazing. I thought, God damn, he looks so relaxed. He's able to go up there. He can even drink water while he makes little Charlie Woodhead talk. That's amazing.
And he's doing that with his job on the line here. So,
correct. Yeah.
He must be seeing some good things.
Or not.
Maybe not.
Been told you're moving up because his name now on the team website just says head coach.
Yeah.
Right. So, those are the little tiny things that we needed to worry about with Dan Snyder, I think. This is what it's got us doing. We're jumping at every single freaking motion that there is. What was that? Oh, my God. What was that? Oh.
Yeah.
So, Glenn Youngkin, Virginia showed up yesterday. People were like, oh, my God, he's a Republican.
God.
Who gives a fuck?
Don't get me started on that.
Let the governors and the mayors line up, all right? They need to stay.
That's the way life is, man. It doesn't matter what you're red or blue, left or right. You have to do business with these people.
That's right. Whether you like it or not, Northern Virginia's got a lot of fans, a lot of people, and a lot of money.
So one thing is, on the news front, what I really like, with what's happened this week is the fact that even on the day that, Josh Harris and Rails and Magic Johnson have had their press conference, they've been meeting to the media, you can instantly see the difference in the stadium. You know what I mean? Even not just at Ashburn, but with the bleachers and everything, which I suppose were already going to be there. But even putting in new rails, a bit of a paint job here, having a little...
that shit was on credit too.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
That
straight away.
Credit.
But it's like, hold on.
Snyder wasn't paying for that shit.
No way.
They got so many partners, and there's probably one of them. Which one of you owns a fencing company? You? All right, you're doing the rails.
Bang on. But it's funny, though, isn't it, that as soon as that happens, and the other thing I've been waiting to see, and I know we talked last week, and, I'm doing mine, my pod as well, and we've been thinking about it and talking about it. Thank you very much. It's, we look at it and we say, well, hold on, when were we ever going to sign our first two draft picks? The day he takes over, bang, there it is. Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Now they're in. So it's just funny how transactions happen immediately like that. Speaking of transactions, we've had 2 this week, haven't we? We've had 3. We've had Cut Norwell, thank God. Yep. And then we've got in Badgley as a kicker and Pringle, isn't it? Is the other one as a wide receiver?
Once you pop, you can't stop.
That's exactly it, Jesse.
Yeah, I would say that would have been it. But I guess.
And he's already making plays too. Pringle isn't just a depth piece.
He's
coming here. Yeah, he's coming in here to play, and he's going to fight for some playing time. Expect him big on special teams.
He's a punt returner. He's a good punt returner, isn't he? So from what I've heard.
The way I look at that right now, we've got 3 or 4 guys that can get back there and return punts without having to put Jahan Dotson back there and without having to put Curtis Samuel back there. But out of the 2, I'd rather put Samuel back there.
And say goodbye to
Dax Milne caught a touchdown today. They keep putting him in there.
Yeah, but he's gone. He's gone. I don't expect him making the
practice.
I would have to agree. We'd have to see what would happen. Dax.
Yeah, and people keep saying that we don't have depth at wide receiver, and I just want to tell them to shut the fuck up because we do. I mean, Diami Brown is tearing it up.
Play of the day.
Pringle is making plays, and this is the bottom of the depth chart, guys. And then you see the beautiful passes from Hal to Terry and Jahan. They're talking about Jahan is catching everything in sight. You haven't heard anything about Samuel.
Nothing.
I want to think. I think it was on Kyle's on the Burgundy Zone. I think. What's his name? What's the staff writer? We've had him on our show before. I can't think of his name right now for the Skins.
Selby.
Yeah, Zach Selby.
Yeah.
I think Kyle brought up Curtis Samuel, and Selby's like, yeah, Sam was there. He's making plays. You know, we listen. We got depth. We got players. You know, if people expect, you know, you have
you got
grade A players for your backups, and that just doesn't happen. But I'm just saying.
Tinsley. All right, Mitchell Tinsley can return punts.
Yeah,
you got Marcus Kemp behind Diami Brown. I mean, that's 3 deep right there. And even though Kemp is not really a big name, he's big body. He can get down there.
I'm thinking we're going to keep 7 fucking receivers.
What about Allen? Does Kaz Allen make it?
That's where I'm like, okay, we've got like 4 guys. Let's see. You got Kaz Allen, you got Byron Pringle, you got Tinsley, you got Dax Milne. And
that's the 4. That's the 4 for one spot.
If you really want to say, okay, dude, you kind of cost us money in the first year, so let's see you earn some this year. You got 4 to 5 guys that you can have back there and have a punt returner competition, and best man wins, man. Show who's got it. But yeah, I see something like that, man.
John, I think you're right there. I think it's all them 4 you've just mentioned. Not Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel will probably be wide receiver 3, but between them 4 you just mentioned, I reckon it's one of them, because I can't see us keeping more than. You would normally say you keep 6, but you're going to keep 7 because Kemp's probably a special teamer, you know, out special teamer. You know, like pretty much similar to what Cam Sims was last year, but that's what he came across for. So I can't see us cutting him, to be honest with you. So
I see them keeping 7 wide receivers this year.
7, yeah, as well.
Is Kemp's like 6'4", 6'5"? Is he our tallest?
Yeah,
he's pretty much a spit at Cam Sims.
To Sam Sims, yeah. I think another observation that I think the biggest observation for me was Ron Rivera. The second is Brian Robinson is having a hell of a camp and
catching the ball.
Catching the ball. That's what I mean, and not in the way that you would think. Yeah. He's out there making fucking plays with his hands. This is going to be exciting to see. You know, you're hearing that Gibson is going to possibly move into that J.D. McKissick role. That third down back, this is coming from straight from Gibson. So
I can see it. He was playing it last year.
And that's fine. But I figure he might have a little bit bigger of a role and maybe take a couple touches away from B-Rob. But I don't think so. I think Brian Robinson is going to be RB1 and everybody else is from Samuel, Rodriguez and Gibson are going to get the leftovers.
We'll see. I mean, go ahead, Scott. You got a thought?
No, I was just thinking there. I mean, obviously, there's so much depth here, which is really interesting. We're talking about making a 53 already, and we're like 3 days into camp.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's crazy. I mean, Jared Patterson's probably not going to make the roster. But I don't know if you've got a chance to see it. If you do get a chance to, he was, yeah. If you do get a chance to see it, though, go and look at it's the little 15-minute shorts from Diami Brown's YouTube. Does like these vlogs that he's been doing, and it really shows you between. I mean, shout out to Scouts for putting me onto this. To be fair, it shows you all of the ins and outs of them training in Fort Lauderdale just before they got to camp, and it's got all of all of the running backs, all of the wide receivers there, and it actually really interested me. The biggest point I got from it was the fact that Brissett is coaching, and he's talking like, when you see this DB, when you're looking at this is the look that you want, this is where you go back shoulder, and he's telling how this is what you do. So that what we thought was going to happen, that teammate, right, that older head, that veteran presence, that I'll teach you the ropes. He's clearly come in and done that, which is amazing to see.
It's nice. It's even nice to hear him when when Brissett had his press conference and saying, I want the QB1 job just as much as he does.
Of course he does.
I am here to help the team win, and I'm going to help Sam as much as I possibly can, because that's what other players did with him. You know, when he came into the New England Patriots with Tom Brady and Jimmy G. So he knows, man, and he's this.
He went and then he went to Andrew Luck. Was he with Andrew Luck over there, or was he later?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was later.
He's been all over the place.
Like Scott said, he was brought in for this reason, and
of course he was.
This is what we thought, and that's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, Jesse, if you're getting paid $8 million to sit and hold a clipboard, I'd be quite happy with that too. And to be honest with you,
I mean,
that's
I might even. Never mind.
I would say that.
Don't you say it, because I know where you were going with that. Don't you say it. Don't you put that evil on me, Jesse. I know where you were going.
They use pads now, or whatever the hell those things are called. They use the surface now. That's how they do it.
I know what you mean.
But quarterbacks, in terms of Jacoby Brissett, so I would say Jacoby Brissett has nothing to worry about from Jake Fromm, right? We're not going to think about Jake Fromm at all.
No, but he had a good day.
Fromm had the best day out of all three.
Fromm's working our defensive backs out. He's like, look, boys, you better have some hands. So here's another pass from Jake Fromm. Go freaking pick it off. I'm telling you.
Fromm had a good day today. So.
He did, yeah.
Good day today. What happened? Did he feel a stomach bug and stay inside?
Well, I think he's solidified himself as QB3. I think, unfortunately, that undrafted free agent Tim Demarat, or whatever he's called, he'll be gone. But he had a really good day.
Dropped him, and
did they?
They dropped Tim Demarat and they signed Joe Republican.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
No, they had to.
That's who we did
for
Terry Conservative.
So, all right, I was mentioning quarterbacks.
Yeah, they had to make room for Pringle and
Badgley.
Badgley. So
Badgley's kind of a surprise to me. I thought
that's an interesting one.
But that's interesting. Maybe I've always been, you know what I say, right? When we were bitching about Dustin Hopkins, bring him in by the truckload. I don't want to hear anybody tell me about it's hard to find kickers. Bullshit. There's a whole damm world of them filled with people like Scott who have been kicking the ball since they were this freaking big.
I'm perfectly fine with Sly. I think he's got a huge leg, and I
his son's got the look of the kicker though.
Yeah, but look, Michael Badgley. Yes, he can make extra points. He can make extra points.
His
40 plus, he's not that good.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. You're right.
He's had like 5 touchbacks total. He can't kick
Sly,
it into the end zone.
Exactly. He had 5. They wouldn't let him kick off. He only kicked off 5 times last year because he sucked at it.
When they say his name on TV, it sounds like Badgley if you're not listening. Well, and that really is a thing. Like having Bill Pennis out there running around.
I'm fine with Sly. He's got a big leg. Listen, if he misses an extra point here and there, I'd rather have him, make a meaningful 52-yarder, for the win.
Right.
If Badgley can't do that, he can't.
No, he can't. The best man wins is what I say when it comes to kickers. And when I say, I don't get, and all due respect, Mr. Tim Meek, and to what's our friend Rigo out there, whatever his name is, I can't remember off the top of my head. But who I'm talking
Carl,
about.
Yeah,
Carl, with their love of Dustin Hopkins, man, I never get attached to a kicker. Never get attached to a kicker because they will fall off the edge of the planet before you know what happened to them. They're like, all of a sudden, I can't kick. Even Justin Tucker, Mr. Perfect last year, had himself some issues. And with kickers, it happens, man. So you can't get too attached to it. And so you got to just cut them loose. So that's the way I look at that. So I like Joey Sly until Joey Sly is not likable.
It's better than Chris Blewett, isn't it, I suppose?
I would say anything is better than Chris Blewett. All right, so back to the quarterbacks, all right, because it looks to me like this nonsense about, Sam Howell's going into camp as the possible number one. No, he's number one. And I think it's obvious he's number one. And I'm stealing this from Nathan, even though I never did that. Like, hey, bud, sorry, dude, I got to grab that. So anyway, I think that he's taken command of the team, and the fact of the matter is whether or not any of these fans like him and think that he's a leader, or any of these media people like him think he's a leader, his teammates do. And that to me, that's the thing that's the key, man. If they believe it, then that's fine. And I know I said earlier you can't tell anything from these little 4-second videos, right? They had that one of Terry running down the sidelines, okay, and he catches the pass from Howell from down the sidelines. And I don't care there's no rush. I don't care that there's no pads or anything like that. the thing that I see is that ball is on the dot. It's on the dot. It is out to the outside. He is going to catch, or nobody else is going to get it unless they make a spectacular play to make a play on that ball. And to me, that is very encouraging because the accuracy that we saw in that one game was what stood out to me was the ability to freaking put that ball right where they needed it to be able to run after they have it, not have to turn around and make jump ball freaking plays that, after 5 yards they got separation, they got to turn around and give back 3. So I really like to see that, and I think that I'm happy with the fact that he's number one. I think that he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, which is good because he's confident about it. He's not Rex Grossman stupid. Oh, I can do anything. No. I think this dude knows what he can do, and that I think is good. So we're going to use this all year long. Thank you, Nathan.
Yeah, no, I'm liking everything.
The first time he throws a touchdown on week 1, I'm freaking doing it in the stand.
As long as we're not called the Redwoods, you're
British
allowed to use
owls
that.
out there.
Oh yeah,
Owls.
the owls.
No, I'm liking everything that I hear, and see from Hal. I'm trying not to get too fucking optimistic, but it's like I am, and I know it's going to bite me in the fucking ass in the end.
Right.
But could this be the guy? Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. God, I want him to. God, I want him to be the fucking guy.
Strap yourself in, kid, because I'm sitting in the seat next to you. It's the seatbelts on. The seatbelts on. We're ready to go. No, I think so. I'm so excited by what he's showing and the presence he's showing. It's difficult. I mean, poise is the biggest problem. And it's like, what can he do in the pocket? What's his poise like?
That was the thing in the Dallas game. How many times I use that word, Jesse? He's poised. He was poised in the pocket. He was poised in that game, even when they pressured him.
I want to see him get rattled though, and like so really, really rattled. He threw
an interception in the end zone to 3 guys. There were 3 guys that were standing there ready for the ball.
That's one play. I'm talking about like 3 or 4 series. Just not doing good, and see how he comes out of it.
Yeah, I want to see
still so much that we got to see from this kid.
Yeah,
but what we've seen from him so far is pretty fucking intriguing.
It merits a little optimism, and I don't think that it's false optimism because I don't think he needs to be spectacularly good. I don't think he needs to go out and be franchise quarterback. I think that the biggest key for him is protection. Protect him. Give him a couple of seconds. Let him throw the damn ball because we've seen his accuracy. So far, it's 2 days at camp. He took 2 days to throw 1 interception, which is you hear around that you see freaking Dak Prescott his interception. Dude. These things happen, but it didn't happen to him in the Cowboys game but one time. And if he can keep his turnovers down and they can keep him protected, they've got players. They've got players that can make plays for him. So.
Well, I don't know how many times we have to say it, but we can say it until we're blue in the face. It's about being giving us that top 20 quarterback, top 15, top 20. If he can get in that level, absolutely amazing. I mean, what I'm most impressed with him is the fact that he's learned this playbook. He's sat around and he's apparently on it. He knows what he's doing. I mean, Scout sent me a play and the difference between the Air Coryell offense and the West Coast offense, and I was baffled. I was like, how is this kid even going to understand this? Do you know what I mean? But you've got to have some sort of there he is. You got to have some sort of like Mensa degree to understand what this playbook. I mean, it's not that bad, but it is like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? And it's a lot to learn when you're young. You're on your second playbook in 2 years. You're on a brand new offensive coordinator who's going to ride people hard, which is what EB's known for. He's there. He's going to dig you out if you make mistakes. And the thing is, as well, it looks like it's a gimmicky offense at times. He's quick to get the ball out. You know what I mean? Right. To be like, do you know what? I can get rid of this in the 2 seconds. I need to get rid of this. And if that holds the offensive line up, then great. Because that is our biggest concern, is who keeps him upright. I'm still not convinced Charles Leonard is going to do that. I'll be honest with you. I'm not convinced. But we'll see. And that's where, have we really invested in this offensive line, which we know was pretty bad last year? I'm not sure, but if you can get it out, in them 2 seconds, then great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 2.5 seconds, I'm happy, and he can make a play. And I think that Eric Bieniemy will do things to be able to move the pocket. Last year with fucking Taylor Heineke, Jesse, how many times was I screaming, why don't they ever roll him the fuck out? Whenever they roll him out, he made a good throw. He can throw on the run, right? It doesn't have to be a long throw. He could hit that 10, 11-yard. He played a lot better when he was on the run.
Hit that 3 or 4 yarder.
Well, that can turn into a 7 or 8 yarder, and that's okay, especially when you've got an offensive line that can't even get up before you count to 7 or 8. So move him out. I think Bieniemy will do that.
And what I also think Bieniemy is going to do, and this is probably partially because of our offensive line might not be the strongest in the league. You're going to see a lot of quick game. Game.
Yeah,
Sam will roll out. Take a roll out for 2-3 steps to the right, to the left, or whatever, and throw some 5-yard ins, outs, and some slants, some quick games, screens that will get the ball out of his hands extremely, extremely fast. That will still put yards on the table and move the ball.
Andy Reid's done that his whole career.
Yeah, correct. That's good offensive coordinators with lots of experience knows how to manipulate the team when they have weaknesses. And I think that's what we should expect to see from Eric Bieniemy.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the things that I had a thought about was that Patrick Mahomes does all these amazing things, right? He makes these things where he's got to run around backwards this way, upside down, go between his legs that way to look over there. There's the blimp, and then throw a pass that nobody sees coming. But why is he having to run around and then flip? Why? Where's the protection, right? How often does that have to happen? How often does he have to make the Patrick Mahomes magic? Because somebody has to turn around and go, "Hey man, look out! Here they come!" I don't know. I saw in the Super Bowl how they got decimated. Of course, they had their offensive line was down to like the third string. So I'm curious to see how that works. I don't know that Bieniemy's going to bring directly over what he was doing in Kansas City. But I hope he doesn't expect Sam Howell to do Patrick Mahomes type, Houdini shit.
No, but the other thing you've got to remember, John, here is that, Howell's got the legs to run as well. And he's done that. He's done that in college. So in the final season, obviously at Carolina, he was on his toes every single game.
Yeah, he said that even in his press conference that he did a lot of RPOs, and they're incorporating a lot of RPOs in this offense, and Howell is excited about that, and it should be. I mean, that's being able to run a successful RPO system, or RPO plays. I mean, it's the run pass option. You have the option of either running the motherfucker or dumping it off and have a quick 5, 7, 10-yard gain.
That would be dumping the motherfucker off.
Yeah,
Make sure
that is the
I'm gonna write that
key to the offense.
The Cowboys game was the one time we saw him, right? So it's all we got to go by. And I'll tell you what, I was impressed with his pocket awareness and his ability to keep his eyes downfield and then slide away from a problem. Right, he did pretty well
with a shit offensive lineman. I mean, we were playing back.
How many times do we see quarterbacks just run themselves right into trouble all the damn time? It's more frustrating than anything when you see a quarterback who thinks he's got something going on. He just backs right into a defensive end who's clearly coming at him. Right. I thought he did well in that regard last year. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped about all that stuff right now.
I think we've upgraded our center. Okay.
Yeah.
We've upgraded our right tackle.
Yep.
Cosme, I think, is going to be. I mean, you think Wiley's better than Cosme at right tackle?
Payne gave him praise today. He said that in practice he wasn't able to do the stuff that he's like normal to do because Cosme is quick. He says he's quick up and he's quick with his hands. And he said, I was not able to do stuff.
No, I think
Cosme's athleticism running out on them screens, man. I'm telling you, Cosme is made for that fucking guard position right there. What the problem is the left side of the line.
Yeah. I think Wiley's not as I think Wiley's not as good as we think he is. I hope he's as good as
I don't think he's a top-notch offensive tackle, but I think he's better than what we had last year.
And you know what they said? John Madden said, you can take your worst player and you can hide him at right guard. Your worst offensive lineman, you can put him in right guard. Hey, the fact of the matter is, if you've got the right tackle to be able to cover that outside without having to have help from that guard to be able to come and chase that guy around the end for you, it does help because they'll try. It's much better on stunts and pass protection and everything like that if you've got a guy that does not have to worry about the dude that's outside of him. And it's simple as that. So we'll see whether or not that tackle position's been upgraded or not. And I have to think, dude, even Sadiq Charles out there. Laying down, taking a nap is better than what we had in the middle last year.
Yeah, 2 turnstiles on each side. Well, have you heard about John Bostic? I mean, John Bostic's gone to not John Bostic, Trey Turner.
Yeah.
Trey Turner's terrible, unfortunate.
Or his
Brain's been out in the sun too long.
I'm sweating like a sausage at a bar mitzvah here, John. Honestly, it's like it's
like a what? A sausage at a bar mitzvah.
Oh, I mean, honestly, just okay.
John,
but
Bostic.
Anyway, not John Bostic. Trey Turner, even he signed for the Saints, and is it Quadris? Is he broke his ripped his quad or something?
Yep, ripped the quad, out for the season.
Well, at least he's going to get paid, and that's good for him. He'll catch an injury settlement, and that'll be that. He managed to do that.
Yeah.
So I did see. Did you see the picture of Magic Johnson and his family celebrating on the yacht? His yacht.
Yeah.
With all Commanders gear on. Yeah.
Look, Magic. I got to tell you, you can get a battering ram for that thing and find Dan Snyder on the high seas.
Yeah.
And really invest in winning, buddy. You will make a hero. Washington will love you forever. You'll be the most popular man.
I was going to say, does Dan Snyder's yacht tracker turn into Magic Johnson's yacht tracker now?
I hope not. Like I told you guys last week, I don't want to hear about the owners anymore. Once this initial story is over,
I don't.
That's it. Unless the one thing I want to hear is free agent X was reluctant until Magic Johnson walked into the room, and then he offered to take a pay cut and sign right away. So that's what I want to hear about the owners. Other than that, continue to make the improvements. I can feel the improvements. These people that are down on Jason and all that kind of stuff, we talked about this last week. You got to give them a chance, right? Everybody, John Allen said, I've been waiting 7 years to feel this, right? They're all like that.
Yeah.
Everybody feels the elation of this being, like I said earlier, Braun looks like he had not just an anchor taken off his neck. They took the whole freaking ship off his neck. So,
and speaking of Jason, look at the practice facility right now. Look at training camp right now. Jason did that, not Josh Harris. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had to take a line of credit out because Dan Snyder wasn't fucking paying for that shit. Right. But, if he has something to work with, he's able to do things. Jason wasn't able to fucking do things.
You imagine if Snyder didn't freaking leave, and then like mid-season they came in and they repossessed all of it, and then probably had to take the collateral, all of our weight benches and shit. Oh God. And the problem with that is even though as outlandish as that sounds, as cartoonish as that sounds, with Dan Snyder, would have been a distinct possibility.
Yeah.
Oh, it might have been.
I think he returned those heated benches. He returned those heated benches.
So I heard that they're investing apparently $100 million into the facilities internally, and $150 million into the grounds, the stadium, in and around what can be done with that. I mean, that'd be great if you can speed up concessions and you can speed up ways of getting a beer and a hot dog and getting back to your seat quickly. Then
there's huge new video boards that are going to be put up not this season but next year on each side of the end zones. I'm talking. I mean, they're real. They wrap around. I mean, that's going to be awesome,
dude. I got to tell you, the one that goes around the concourse, the advertising board, the one with all the freaking colors and shit like that they do. Yeah, they put their little fight and that shit, and then dude, they come up to the line and it's Bank of America, and this fucking red thing is zap right at eye level. It's like, fucking hey, man, shut that thing off. The offense is on the field. I'm proud of you. Only when the offense is on the field, you want to show an ad for like a camouflage company. You can't see us. Hear us. But we're here, right? Not this fucking big red flashing thing right in the quarterback's face. I'm telling you what, Carson Wentz, he's probably on the freaking spectrum, and he saw that red flashing thing, and you never know what happens. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So
defense. Let's talk about defense. They are tearing it up, man. They're good. Listen to Nick Gates on, I think he was on Kevin Sheehan, talking about the defensive line, in his experience when he was with the Giants. He was just talking how good they were. Chase is looking fast. He's looking explosive. And Emmanuel Forbes, from all accounts, is the real fucking deal.
Camp in shows.
Listen, I'm going to put a little bit of something on him for defensive rookie of the year.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm going to. I think I'm going to. I'm going to put it. I think I'm going to put 100 on it.
There you go.
I mean, good
return.
Good for you, but I think that's really a popularity contest. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
We'll see.
Rookie of the year, I don't think
we'll
so.
see.
Rookie
We'll
of the
see.
year, you're pretty fair about that. MVP is often a very popularity-driven thing, and it's usually a quarterback anyway. And I got to tell you, somebody said on X or whatever the fuck they call it, Twitter or whatever you want to call it.
Has it actually changed yet? I don't know if it has or it hasn't.
Somebody said on there that every picture that the Jets release of Aaron Rodgers in his Jets uniform looks like somebody's dad cosplaying as a Jets.
I know. I just want to punch him in the fucking face.
Somebody was yelling at me the other day about why do I not want to see the Jets on? I guess they got players, but I don't care. One of the people that I follow is of a more NFL centric. I think it was a New York guy that I followed because he was talking Giants, and I wanted to just kind of catch up. It's a reporter, right, like a Zach Selby type guy. But I think he's working for the Jets now because I get all kinds of Jets highlights. It's like, God damn it! Of all the teams, I really can't stand the New York teams at all. By the way, in an hour and 15 minutes, the Baltimore Orioles are going to kick the shit out of the New York Yankees.
Let's hope so.
That's right.
So I hate the Yankees. I hate the Yankees.
The Yankees all the time.
Benjamin St. Juste is, from what I hear, is having a really, really good camp, playing in the slot and inside. And Quan Martin, John Keim is in love with some Quan Martin. He says he's extremely smart. Cam Curl is playing extremely well.
First pick.
Yeah, he got the first pick today. Listen, I think we should expect some big things from this defense. I am going to be bold and say we were going to be top 2.
Top 2? Why don't you just go ahead and say number 1? Why do you hedge it with
I'm not doing that because I think the 49ers have the best defense in the league.
Yeah, I do too. I'd say top 5, definitely. I don't want to see any regression.
We were last year.
You've got to remember the quarterbacks we're playing this year, you may see slight regression. And that's the problem. Is because of the I kind of do care about that, John. And I think
Aaron Rodgers, fuck Josh Allen, fuck them all in their fucking asses.
But great sentiment. I just think I think that the level of teams that we play in this year and the schedule is quite bad.
Fuck Jalen Hurts.
True, definitely. And F you, Daniel Jones.
Dak Prostate. Dak Prescott.
Dak Prostate.
Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Dak.
Who else we playing this year?
Who cares? Daniel Jones would be like this.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Tua.
All right, so we do have Tua. That's like in November, so Tua's probably going to be down.
He's probably going to be injured by then.
Right.
Yeah, he's got his head fell off. Anyway.
So what I'm liking so far, I'm just trying to bring this back around to some kind of normal semblance of a discussion so that we can actually talk like we actually talk football. It seems like camp is off to a good start. The thing I'm liking to hear is I don't even hear about anybody having to leave the field for an owie for a while. Not even a little tweak or nobody's talking to the trainer.
Yeah, Deron Payne had a little hang nail on his toe.
Now, see, a toe. When they say a toe, I want to know which toe, because if it's your big toe, dude, that can be problematic. Have you ever had a problem with your big toe? I've had a problem with my big toe. My big toe owed me some money one time, and me and him had it out. No, seriously, I have tendonitis in my big toe from playing tennis and playing playing pickleball, all the things shit that I do. And man, I'll tell you what, when it hurts, it hurts. And when you can't take off the way you want to. And for a defensive lineman, especially somebody of his size, if it's his big toe, that can really affect what he can do. So I don't know.
Well,
a slight toe.
He's fine today.
Yeah.
Remember we heard that
that's why I think it was just something like a little hangnail or fucking a jam or something on his like pinky toe or something.
Ingrowing toenail. He's been the chiropodist. He's had it fixed. It's fine.
All right. So, okay. So off to a good start. I'm thinking that's good things. I'm seeing Jamin Davis is coming up.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, they've still got him listed as running with the twos, but I don't care. He'll be all right. He'll be out there, and he's coming back from what was it, like a mid-spring surgery or something like that he took?
Yeah, clean up some cartilage.
Yeah, filthy cartilage.
I mean, do you think we start with Cody Barton then as the single linebacker, and then don't know. Would you play two?
I think it's gonna be Cody. It depends. It really depends. I mean, they were playing a lot of 5 down linemen today. So if they're doing 5 down linemen, you're only going to have one linebacker out there. It all depends on what set they come out and run. But if it is 2, it will be Jamin and Cody, and if it's 1, I think it'll be Jamin.
Speaking of defensive linemen, just a question that just crossed my mind. Shaka Toney is suspended for gambling. All right, but a lot of times when these guys are suspended, they can work out all the way up until the season starts. So is he allowed to be in camp? Did they even bother? No,
I think they said.
Did they cut him?
Yeah, no.
Did they waive him? All right, I didn't hear that they cut him, and I'm glad that they did. They should have. And if I did hear that they cut him, and I can't remember, cough, man, I'm damn near 60.
No, they didn't. They didn't cut him, and they haven't waived him. They've just left him as on the unable to he's on the exemption list or something. Yeah, I don't know.
He's on the UTCH list, unable to control himself. UTCH. The UTCH list.
I'm a fucking idiot list.
We're going to use that forever. Anybody gets busted with any cocaine or anything like that, he's on the UTCH list. He's unable to control himself.
Yeah. Well, apparently for him it was betting on the team bus. So he was betting on the team bus.
Was he betting on the bus to what? Get a flat tire?
No. Like I don't know. But as in he was making transactions through an app while he was on the team bus, and because that's classed as a facility,
I don't think they should be able to make transactions anyway, man. Look, I'll tell you, it's the thing about Pete Rose. All right, now I know for you over there in the UK, Pete Rose to you, you're like baseball. What? But look, he's the best hitter of all time. He's got the most hits of all time, and he should not be in the goddamn Hall of Fame because he broke the cardinal fucking rule. And the reason why you can't allow that, you cannot forgive that, is because if you allow the influence of gambling into your sport, even the hint of the influence of gambling into your sport, you are dead. You are nothing but professional wrestling. No offense, Andy. But that's all you are at that point. And once you lose people, that's the best thing about the NFL is you don't know what's going to happen from week to week to week, right?
Who the hell it was scripted?
Professional body rubbing.
Oh, right. It's all scripted. Right? Yeah, it's all scripted. Right. But that's the best thing about it. You don't know what's going to happen, right? Who beat the Eagles last year? Who beat the Eagles last year, right?
Yeah.
Nobody expected that shit, but there we went. Boom. You don't know what's going to happen. So
any given
you
Sunday,
let people start to think it's fixed. You let people start to think these players are gambling on themselves or gambling on other players in the league. Man, there's a reason why they call gamblers degenerates. There's a reason why the people who well, now it's all legal, so I can't say the mobsters, but there's a reason why they love gamblers, because they can't control themselves and they will do practically anything. And once you've got a hold of them, you can do anything with them. You can't tell me people do. Pete Rose didn't. He never bet on his own team. I don't give a shit.
Doesn't matter.
He bets, right? So I can come in there and say, hey, Pete Rose, I know where your grandkids go to school. How about you just boot a couple of balls in the 4th inning, huh? Right? So there you go. That's my fucking rant for the day. Since Keith isn't going to
one thing I have noticed that I haven't thought about, bring it back to football, is what are our thoughts on Fedarian Mathis, on Big Phil? Because obviously I haven't seen or heard much about him coming in.
So far, so good. That's what I like.
I did laugh at one of the quotes. I did laugh at one of the quotes that Chase Young apparently got out. They were doing a team drill, running across some tires or some cones, and Ridgway was running across him, and that belly's moving. I was like, go on, son. But just think about the depth there. We've got Ridgway, we've got Mathis as deep
Wise
coming in. Wise is there. Just unbelievable depth when you think about it. Really, really, really good depth.
right.
No doubt. And I think Mathis is probably one of the most intriguing players for me to watch this offseason and going into the season, because we didn't get to see that much of him.
Nothing.
Like one play, three plays, one, I don't know.
Yep.
But I think it was maybe it was Deron Payne or John Allen, one of the two, that was excited to have him back. I know he was starting on that 5-man front with them, so he is ahead of all the other big uglies already. So he's that first round rotational piece.
Damn straight.
As he should be. He's a second round pick, and he's a monster. And I'm definitely waiting to see that second round player play give us dividends.
I'll tell you, for me, it is a matter of no news is good news.
Yeah.
I haven't heard Darian Mathis's name. That's fine. I don't want to hear the defensive line's name, because right now they're not allowed to do anything. All right. They're allowed to stand up and do this to some guy for a couple of seconds. All right. And that's about it. And then they can run their drills, but there's nothing. If I hear their name now, it's because one of them fell down and got hurt. One of them went down. So I don't hear Mathis, I'm happy. I'm good. I know he's fine.
When's the scrimmage booked, Jesse? Do you know? Is that next week or is it the week after?
Well, that's the week two preseason, like right before that game.
Oh, it's actually in the preseason, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they're going to go up to Baltimore and practice with them, and then come back and then go back Saturday and play the game.
Now, do you know, we never had, for the last 10 years, we haven't had any practice with anybody else. And you know why? Because all the other teams thought Dan Snyder had cooties, and they said no.
Well, Richmond
there
was a deal with Richmond too.
A stupid deal.
Yeah.
Richmond said you can't practice anywhere else, and nobody else can come here and practice with you.
Yeah.
And the rest of the league said, no, Dan, you have cooties. We're not sending our team.
Was it the Patriots was the last one with the D Hall broken ankles?
Yeah.
Or
Patriots are the Texans.
Texans. It was the Texans, I think, was the last one. Texans was the last one.
With the Jets a couple of we went in with the Jets a while ago.
It was Hopkins and D Hall's ankles, wasn't it? If I remember rightly. Yeah.
Right.
So that's that. We're not far away now, though. Really, I mean, we'll be in August in a few days. So yeah, it's right around the corner. We're literally 5 weeks away from.
So what about the tight ends? I think there's a battle there. I mean, I think we've heard good stuff about Thomas's back. He doesn't have his knee brace on or anything like that. But what about these other guys, the younger guys?
All I'm hearing is Thomas and Cole Turner. I haven't really heard anything from Bates or Hodges.
No, I haven't heard.
I don't think there's a debate at all. I think you keep 4 tight ends. I think that's it.
No, I know. I want to see if they're making any play. It's.
Oh no, you're like I was listening to
how they running
the Belgian Football Podcast, which is JP Finley and Mitch and Pete. And they always talk about Logan Thomas. I mean, he's making plays left and right. He's a big part of it, and so is Cole Turner. So
remember his first year here?
Yeah,
dude, he was freaking badass.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Come back from 1975.
And Bates is probably the best blocking tight end in the league, or at least one of them. So.
Well, he was statistically in his rookie year, he was the best. And then obviously he regressed slightly after that. But then that was, I think, down to play calling and where you put him and what you ask him to do as well. I mean, he's got decent enough hands. He can get you a few catches here and there in the game, which is great. I really want to see Cole Turner take that next step and turn the corner, because this is this is an ideal offense for him now. He's that big body guy that we need on the outside, because if you look at all of our wide receivers, apart from Kemp, who I don't think is going to see much action on the field, all of our receivers are small. Not saying they're really small, but they're not like the typical. They're not 6'4", 6'5".
Like,
you know what I mean?
Your red zone guys. Right, they're not your red zone guys. But
you need your Thomases and your Cole Turners to step up there and fill that void, really. And that's his job. He's good at that.
Turner's going to be that big wide receiver type.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
We drafted him knowing that they had at the time they had Taylor Heineke, who thinks every tight end in the end zone is freaking 15 feet tall.
I mean, Turner was a wide receiver in college.
He was, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and then converted, didn't he? Converted to tight end for the last 2 years, I think. But Yeah, looking at that, I mean, this offense is tailor made for him. Really, that's what you need. You need him to be out there and doing that wide receiver tight end role. The X or whatever it is that you're gonna work from. Logan Thomas, as you said, no knee brace now, which is amazing. Looks fit, healthy, ready to go. I think he came back too soon last season. I'll be honest with you. I really do think he thought he was good to go, and he just wasn't good to go. And it took him that little bit of time to get back up to speed. But if we can see 2020 or 2021's Logan Thomas, I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? I mean, last year's Logan Thomas, I probably don't want to see that again. But we'll wait and see.
I think we're going to see it'll be interesting because, all right, so Jesse, you're saying that there's a good possibility we keep 7 wide receivers.
I think so.
You know we've got to keep some offensive line and a good set of depth. All right,
fuck them.
All right, so okay, and our backfield, okay. Rodriguez is looking. Is that his name? Did I get his name right this time?
Yeah, Rodriguez. Yeah.
Three running backs.
I don't know.
Agreed.
So Rodriguez. Okay, so Rodriguez looks like he's going to be the heavy. All right, the blocking back, and so far I've heard not necessarily great things about him, but he's not failing so far. And I mean, I don't know what that means in shells where he just stands up and does like this in front of somebody for a minute. But I think they're going to be working with him. So we might have ourselves a logjam there. So how many tight ends do you keep? Do you keep 3? Do you keep 4? What about Hodges? What do you do with this guy? Because he did shine out in preseason last year, right?
You could either risk trying to stash him again on the practice squad, or you're going light on the linebackers. So,
that's true.
No, I've never liked a team that's been accused of being led in the linebackers. However, you guys did. Before we get out of here, I do want to talk about this video because I can't use it, and the reason I won't use it, my son.
Before we get to that, did I mention that John Allen came in on the NFL's top 100 at number 52?
52.
Yeah, he is the 50. He is ranked 52 in the entire NFL.
94 for Terry. I think that they're really kind of, this will change when wins happen and we are in the highlight reels more often. All right. When they're talking about us more often on the shows that are on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then you'll see those kinds of things start to change. But
I think McLaurin should be top 60 and he should be in front of Roma St. Brown.
Oh yeah. Was St. Brown higher then, was he?
But the Lions
he was like 62.
They're a bit of a darling.
Oh, wow.
Right? The Lions are a darling with the media. Everybody likes Jeff Campbell.
Because they fucking eat kneecaps.
They
like Dan Campbell, yeah.
Dan Campbell. Hey, let's say something stupid.
Fucking cannibals.
So, anyway. I don't remember what the fuck I was going to say, but I was going to say
something. That fucking little infant that was...
5'5"
for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, right, the little run. Right, so NFL memes.
And we thought Kyler Murray was small.
Holy shit!
This kid looks like a midget with a fucking helmet on.
Dude, this kid looks like a box of Cheerios.
A little person.
Yeah, this looks like a box of goddamn Lucky Charms. Has little things on the side that says "free running back inside." Where'd he go? Free running back inside. He's with the big freaking helmet on his head. Honestly, he looks like
it looks like you got him out of the fucking Cracker Jack box.
He does. So go to NFL memes and watch the video of this Cowboys running back who's all of about 3'9", if he's that. And for any little people that are out there watching this, look, man, don't bother me.
Apparently,
I drive a truck. I can't even see it. So
it's called something Vaughn, I think he's called, but
yeah,
I didn't realize it's
Deuce
Vaughn. That's it. Yeah,
Deuce Vaughn.
But he is.
I'll tell you what, I dropped a Deuce this morning that was bigger than that motherfucker.
I mean, you know what? Patterson is small, right? We see Patterson out there,
but he's not that small.
No, he's not that small. This dude is, but he's shifty.
5'5".
Those little guys, they can be shifty, dude. I'll tell you what. I know Keith would, if Keith were here, God rest his soul. We can start a rumor now, can't we? Look, if he were here right now, he'd yell at me, "Who the fuck knows who Joe Morris is?" Look, Joe Morris was a running back for the Giants. It couldn't have been more than 5'1" if he put his fucking tallest feet. I mean, he was maybe 5'6", but God,
Well, they reckon this.
kill you. He would kill you, and he drove me.
They
crazy.
reckon this guy's the smallest ever.
Smallest
5'5". Yeah,
ever.
5'5".
It's like
yeah.
it's in 1920. Like the for Poughkeepsie midgets didn't have some guy out there that.
I don't know. It just,
Poughkeepsie little people.
Sorry, we were talking about the 20s, right?
We are the most political correct show out there.
Trying to behave.
Yeah.
Look, you know what? I tell you this. Well, I shouldn't say they can hit me in the balls.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I think we're over an hour now. We've had a nice fine time. We talked about the last 2 days of campus, if they really make a whole lot of difference. The most important thing to me is, like I said on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck you want to call it the other day, when you're gone for most of the day and you come back and you log in to check the news, you're like, oh God, who got carted off? Who's down? And nobody so far except for Joe Burrow.
Do we have a bell end of the week?
Do we have a bell end of the week? I'm not standing up for any.
I don't know. I saw a little bit of Twitter beef between the New York Giants fan and saying that they had a better wide receiving core than Washington.
Look, I don't even know the Giants wide receiver core. You know where the last place I saw them?
I don't even know a wide receiver at the Giants.
I saw their picture on the back of a milk carton. Have you seen any of these people? Do you know who any of these people are? No, I don't. As a matter of fact,
we got some dumb fans in the Washington
tacked to a fucking
fan base.
telephone pole that says, "If you want to catch passes, dial this number."
We got some dumb fans in the Washington fan base.
We do.
I shit you not. But there are some really, really, really low IQ people in the New York Giants.
I will say this:
fan base.
Until we beat those motherfuckers, we can't say shit. And that's the thing that's working because we know they fucking stink. They're fucking horrible. Daniel Jones is just god awful. I'm telling you what, if Daniel Jones fell in the sewer, the fucking turds in the sewer would go, good God, there goes the neighborhood. Holy shit. So, but we can't beat them. The next year, all we had to do was beat them.
We're sweeping them this year.
Who finished bottom of the there was a tweet that came out around intelligence of the NFL fans, and it was. Yeah, I think the Giants were second bottom. I don't know who was bottom. I can't remember.
Probably us.
It wasn't. We were 19th apparently. So yeah, it's all right. So we're quite an intelligent bunch. Yeah, we'll be okay.
What we do with the Giants is we get in against the Giants, and it's like they
shit the bed.
We do. They pump something into the locker room. Everybody just goes,
No, I am going to put a guarantee right now.
A guarantee.
We're going to sweep the Giants this year.
Attaboy. Guarantee.
All right. So do we have any attaboys? Do we have any of that for this week for camp? What's that? Attaboy.
Get out of here.
We give a butt pat to Brian Robinson.
Attaboy.
Tearing
nice
it up.
Catch. Today, he made a nice catch in the end zone, but he was out of bounds. But I couldn't care less about that. I like to see him throwing at him. I like to see him in the offense. There's many ways as you can get any of these players. We got dynamic playmakers across that freaking offense. Mm-hmm. Every one of our skill positions, with the exception of quarterback, I think is ready to be what you need them to be.
I think this skill positions in our on this team rivals anybody else's in the NFC.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'd go with that. I'd have to take a look and see who that is because I tend to speak before I know what I'm talking about. But that's all right. I'm a big mouth and I get myself in trouble.
Who's your butt pat, John?
I'm always right sometimes.
Attaboy.
Just letting you know.
He's my butt pat. All right, look, I'm going to go ahead and give a butt pat right away to I'll just give it to Sam Howell. Why not?
Attaboy.
Like I said, man, the accuracy is what I see. Protect him.
I'll go butt pat to Chase Young just because he's looking like his usual self.
Just pat him on the other side.
Do we have any head snaps?
Get out of here.
Yeah, Castro Fields. You got burned by a Diami Brown. Welcome to Waiverland.
I'm gonna give an extra butt pat to Diami Brown. He's been
Attaboy.
from all reports doing pretty fucking well. When his rapport with Sam, they've connected on quite a few good balls, and And good for him.
Look, he can get separation because you put him out there with really any combination of Terry or Dotson or Samuel or all four of them. What are you gonna do? Right? He's gonna be one singled up. If you're gonna single up anybody, who are you gonna single up on that? Maybe Samuel, but he can kill you underneath. Same with Dotson. Terry can burn you deep, and so can Dotson. So yeah, I think he's gonna get some single coverages, and I think he can way outdistance them, and I think that Hal can hit it. Yeah. That's the big thing. I think he can get the ball down.
Thank you, Nathan.
All right, well,
head smack to every fan who wants a name change again. Fucking stop it. Absolute children.
Okay, we're gonna have to put that on hold for a second. Let's see. We gotta give a head smack. Look, I think that Adam Schefter is right. They're gonna do it. I think that
they do it. If they do it, don't even say anything. Just fucking do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
I can't deal with the fucking idiocy and the fucking Admirals or the fucking Red Wolves or the fucking Sentinels. The fucking just do it.
They could
the Owls.
The Brigade.
They could do things without changing it. Commanders could be okay, but the logo is just. I mean, W means what the fuck? W means why did you bother? This is the laziest piece of crap I've ever seen. This is just. It's
actually I like the W.
I mean, it's an okay little secondary.
Do you really?
Yes, I like the W.
Side of your helmet. Look, man, the Packers, 1920, they're designing that shit. They could do things with the Commanders that would look much better on the side of the hat.
And if we won,
that would look better.
If we won, that's all over with. People would live with the name.
W for win. That would be W for win. And I would say it every time.
Y'all know how much I hated the Commanders when it came out. I fucking despise the name. I'm fine with it now. I don't like the name, but I don't want to go through another fucking name change.
It's
I
like
really
dating
don't.
a fat girl. It's just you get used to it.
She make you happy, and she makes a good sandwich. That's all right.
There you go. All right, so let me put this back on here. And then, wait. Right. All right. So closing thoughts. Closing thoughts, Scott.
No.
Just nothing. I haven't got nothing to say. Football's nearly here.
That's right. So I will say it for all three of us. We'll see that on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. I got to push the